I'm going to take us on a bit of a ride because I'm far from an expert when it comes to these kinds of major societal issues. I'm just some guy with a beer talking about poetry. And I'm not an expert on poetry. And I'm certainly not an expert on making beer. And I've tried to make beer, and it did not go particularly well, but I will be good at making beer someday. And I know that I will because my mother has saved all of my beer making supplies in 5-gallon jugs and tubes and cooking gear. And she believes in me. And she knows that someday, even though it's been 27 years since my last attempt, she knows that someday I will try again and I will offer her great beer. And it's great to have that appreciation. But here we are 53 years later. And I think I'm stereotyping a little bit when I say that I think anyone who would voluntarily attend a virtual tour about poetry probably thinks that we are way overdue for a bit of change. So for those of us who are a bit action oriented, beyond wearing a mask and going to a protest, one of the things that's come up is supporting some Black owned businesses. And so one of the ones that I found is Black and Bold. It's they make coffee. They're based, I think, in Cleveland, and the proceeds go to support disadvantaged youth in that area. They do a mail order subscription package, so every month I get a couple from them, and that's been really nice. We also the All Stars Project is a company that I've done a lot of work for doing fundraising galas. They have branches in New York, New Jersey, Chicago, and other areas. And they've done a really good job of trying to offer internship positions, resume training, working on interview skills so that some of these children who can see a life outside of the project and see an opportunity that they would not have without something like the All Stars Project. So if you work with an organization that has interns, I would recommend reaching out because not only would you be getting interns, but you would be really helping to move people forward and give some kids who wouldn't have an opportunity a better chance at some life. But also with the pandemic, many of us kind of felt tensed up, so we wanted to share a good rousing meme on social media. Here's a couple more innocuous ones that I've shared. I totally relate to that bear on the left. But I have a real strong opinion about the efficacy of social media, but at least it is a means of getting the word out, and it does kind of feel like an action. But while all of these steps have value, they help with the byproduct. And again, the solutions to larger cultural issues are not for me to talk about because I am not an expert.